familiar. Doctor Who goes back in time and he saves people and changes things. But there's something called fixed points in time that are events that are so important to our personal and collective timelines that you cannot alter them without destroying the essence of who we are. So you cannot change a fixed point in time. I have a few personal fixed points in time that determine who I am, as we all do. We also have collective points in time. But I'd like to talk about one tonight, July 27th of 2004. That was the day I came home from the first day of taking the Minnesota bar exam. I was 7 months pregnant with Meredith. Alan and I were looking forward to going down to Rockford the following week to celebrate our baby shower with friends and family, many of whom are in this room tonight. And I was feeling optimistic about the first day of the bar exam, which you may know is a 2-day exam, when I got a phone call from my father with the news that my mother had unexpectedly died. And right then, the center of my world fell apart. My mother and I spoke almost daily. My mother, who was also a Republican, she and I butted heads a lot, but she was a strong woman, she was an educated woman, she was a teacher before she married, and she went back to teaching part-time after all 4 of us kids left the house and left her alone, except for calling her daily for advice. Sometime before her death, we had a conversation where she told me her doctor had said that she needed to go get an MRI because we have a family history of aneurysms. So my mother called a hospital here in Rockford and asked how much an MRI would cost. And they told her they didn't know because she was uninsured, but it would be in the thousands. So my mother never got that MRI. My children have never known their grandmother because she didn't have access to health care. This is the United States of America. No one should lose a loved one because they don't have access to medical care. My mother's death, in large part, is why I decided to move back home to Rockford, bringing Alan with me. Because my mother would never have a direct influence on the lives of my children, I at least wanted her to have an indirect influence. I wanted to raise them with our family friends, going to the same public schools I went to, and being in the same 4-H club I was in. It was important to me that I give them similar experiences to the ones my mother gave me. It is because of my mother and 4-H that I have a passion for citizenship. My mother taught me that good citizenship includes valuing other cultures as well as being proud of your own country. They are not mutually exclusive. Did I mention she was a Republican? I think my dad agrees with that. I know he does. So July 27th, 2004 is one of my personal fixed moments in time. But all of us share a collective fixed point in time. November 8th, 2016. The majority of us watched the election of division over unity, intolerance over common decency, and personal gain over public service. As Democrats, we know it's not enough to resist what is wrong. We need to lead on what is right. government is a direct reflection of the people that elect it, either by action or inaction. We know government works, but it only works when we work together. Medicare works, but it didn't work for my mother, who was 62 years old and not 65. And that's why we need universal health care. Public education works. Yes. It worked for me, it's working for my children, but it doesn't work for everybody. And it doesn't work when we chip away at public schools in favor of privatization. Republican family members, buddy up for this next part. Collective bargaining works to raise middle-class income. It doesn't work when we undermine employees' right to unionize. Immigration works to strengthen our nation and our economy. It doesn't work when we throw up walls, close borders, and deport veterans, taxpayers, and children whose only sin is calling this country home. That is a sign of weakness of national character, and it cannot stand.
Yes. Yes.
This is why I'm running to be the Democratic challenger to Adam Kinzinger. At a very basic level, we have an absentee representative. Yeah. He has not held a town hall, well, one, in 5 years. He turns away from constituents who want to ask him questions and ask for help. I know what real representation is. And I know that we can win this election if we do what Democrats do best, which is run person-to-person campaigns. We are able to turn out this vote, bring more people into this process, because that's what we as Democrats do. We know Adam Kinzinger doesn't care about us when he voted to kick 37,800 of our district residents off of medical care. Do you think he called a single one before he took that vote? No. I am fully invested in the past, present, and future of this district. I grew up in the 16th even before it was redistricted. This is where my home is. This is where I'm raising my children. This is where my business is. This is where my life is. It would be my honor to work with you to set another fixed point in time. This time, November 7th of 2018. We have the opportunity to elect Democrats from the county board to Congress on that date. I'm asking you to join my team tonight to make a commitment of your time, because this will be a very volunteer-intensive campaign, but I know we can do it. And a commitment of your money to bring real representation back to this district. Let's bring the House home.